Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom. Okay, so I want to get into a lesson starting off in Ezekiel, the 33rd chapter and the 7th verse. So Lord willing, this is an edifying lesson to the elect. So I'll go ahead and I'll get straight into it. This is Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 7. So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. And we understand that the watchmen are the prophets. Okay, continuing on. Therefore thou shalt hear the word at my mouth. That's right, it says, therefore thou shalt hear the word at my mouth. And we understand that the Lord speaks through his prophets. Okay, we're not speaking our own words, we're speaking the words of the Lord. Okay, continuing on. Well, I read that again. Therefore thou shalt hear the word at my mouth and warn them from me. That's right, it says, and warn them from me. And that's exactly what we're doing. Okay, we're telling our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, which are the Hebrew Israelites, that the Lord will bring plagues upon this place. Okay, we already see that these plagues are being sent. Famine, pestilence, the sword. But we know that these things will escalate, these things will intensify, these things will get a lot worse than what you see right now, heading into the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay, and we're currently in the beginning stages of Jacob's trouble. Okay, so let me go ahead and I'll get what else I had. Okay, but we know, like I was going into, it's the Lord that's bringing these plagues upon this place, man. Okay, so let me get this to Jeremiah, the 30th chapter, and I'll start at the 7th verse. This is Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7. At last for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. And we're currently in the beginning stages of Jacob's trouble. But like I mentioned, we know that it's going to get a lot worse than what you see right now. It's going to escalate. Okay, we know that during the time of Jacob's trouble, we know that martial law will be declared. Okay, we know that it's going to be people that's going to be thrown into concentration camps. Okay, we know that it's going to be people, you know, that's going to get put to death throughout these cities, man. Okay, we understand that it's going to be a famine. All right, we know that cannibalism will be going on, man. All right, we know that it's going to be worse than anything that we ever experienced before, man. It's going to be worse than anything that we ever been through, man. We know that it's going to be women that's going to be raped during the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay, a lot of you people are going to see your sons and daughters get put to death right before you, man. Okay, these are all the things that's going to be going on during the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay, continuing on. But he shall be saved out of it. That's right, it says, but he shall be saved out of it. And who's that he that's going to be saved out of it? That's speaking about the elect. Okay, that remnant that the Lord will protect and ultimately deliver up out of this place, man. Okay, we know that the elect will be beamed up into the chariot when the Lord returns with the numerable amount of angels and chariots with them. Okay, so I'll go ahead and get what else I had. Okay, let me get this in Romans. All right, get this in Romans. Go to the 9th chapter, and I'll start at the 27th verse. This is Romans chapter 9 and verse 27. Isaiah also crieth concerning Israel, though the number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea. And we know if you ever been to a beach and you look at all that sand, you can't count all that sand, man. All right, so we understand that our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, which are the Hebrew Israelites, are innumerable. Okay, continuing on. A remnant shall be saved. That's right, it says a remnant shall be saved. So even though we understand that our people are as the sand of the sea, only a remnant will be saved. Okay, we understand only the elect will be delivered up out of this place, man. Okay, even though we understand, as the scripture goes into in Romans chapter 11 and verse 26, about how all Israel shall be saved as it is written. And how is it that all Israel will be saved as it is written? Because we know that the rest of our people, 2/3 of our people, we know that they're going to come back through the loins of the elect in the kingdom of heaven as newborn babes. Okay, that's how all our people shall be saved as it is written. Okay, only the elect of the nation of Israel will be beamed up out of here into the chariot when the Lord returns with the numerable amount of angels and the chariots with them. Okay, so I'll go ahead and I'll get what else I have. All right. We go Salakia. We get this in Jeremiah, the 11th chapter. Okay. And I'll start at the Salakia. No, let me go to Zechariah. Salakia. Let me go to Zechariah, the 14th chapter. And I'll start the first verse. Okay. This is Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 1. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh. That's right. We understand that the day of the Lord is near, man. Okay. Continuing on. And thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. That's right. It says, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. And we understand that during the time of Jacob's trouble, we know there's going to be people that's going to be out here getting assaulted. Okay, getting their goods took right up off of them, man. Okay, anything that's useful is going to be took right up off of you, man. Okay, these are the things that's going to be going on during the time of Jacob's trouble, and we're constantly warning our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, which are the Hebrew Israelites, of the things to come, whether you hear or forbear. Okay, so I'll read this from the top again. This is Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 1. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. Verse 2, for I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken. That's right, it says, and the city shall be taken. Like I just mentioned, man, we understand that martial law will be declared, okay, during the time of Jacob's trouble. We know there's going to be checkpoints throughout these cities, okay? You're not going to be able to move around as freely as you was once able to, man, okay? We know that America, which is Babylon the Great, is divided up into 10 different FEMA regions. Okay, you're not going to be able to move around from region to region, you know, whenever you want to, man. Okay, so we understand that this is what's going to be going on during the time of Jacob's trouble, man. Okay, continuing on. And the city shall be taken, and the house is rifled. That's right, it says, and the house is rifled. That's right, man. It's going to be a lot of people getting their doors kicked in, getting their goods took. Okay, these are things that's going to be going on during the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay, continuing on. And the women ravished. That's right, it says, and the women ravished. Okay, so we understand that it's going to be women that's going to get raped during the time of Jacob's trouble, man. Okay, when you look around, man, a lot of these women are extremely proud, man. Okay, a lot of these women, you know, are heavily dependent upon the government. Okay, a lot of these women speak against their man. Okay, a lot of these women think that they don't need a man. Okay, these women are extremely proud out here, man. Okay, but we know that a lot of these proud women, they're going to get raped during the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay, and you're going to realize that you're going to need a man. Okay, and not any man, you're going to need a man of the Lord. Okay, because we understand that the scripture goes into it, Isaiah the 32nd chapter, about how a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind. Okay, and we know that the wind represents that destruction. Okay, and it's not any man that's speaking about elect man. Okay, continuing on. And the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth to captivity. That's right, it says, and the half of the city shall go forth to captivity. Okay, so we understand that it's going to be some individuals that's going to be put into these concentration camps, man. Okay, there's got to be people that's got to be hauled off, man. Okay, put into prison. All right, these are things going to be going on during the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay, continuing on. And the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. That's right. So we understand that it's going to be some people that's going to be left, man. Okay, and it's going to be people that's going to be afraid, you know, to come across somebody else, man. Okay, the scripture goes into it in Matthew the 24th chapter about how the love of many shall wax cold. Okay, so we know it's going to be like every man for himself out here during the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay, but we know that the elect of the nation of Israel will be protected and ultimately delivered up out of this place. Okay, the scripture goes into it in Psalms 34 chapter in the 7th verse about how the angel of the Lord encampeth round about him that fear him and delivereth him. Lord willing, we be a part of the elect. We call ourselves the hopeful elect. We understand that the Lord has the angels around us protecting us, and we know that it's going to be a standard that's going to be lifted for the elect of the nation of Israel, man. Okay, and we know there's going to be some brothers that's going to receive spiritual power. Okay, so we know that these things will be going on during the time of Jacob's trouble. Lord willing, we be a part of that number. We know that the Lord will protect us and ultimately deliver us up out of this place. Okay, so with that said, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson to the elect. And I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachawadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.